This conference will now be recorded.
Yes. And I moved the cursor off the record, so I'm not going to hit. We found out, was it a month ago, that I hit it, and then being my MS self, I kind of double hit it, and then because I didn't spend a minute between it, it didn't record. And then I got these emails from Rick about how it didn't record and him trying to talk to the company that it didn't record. So I'm more conscious now. And if I do mess up, we have to wait a minute and then try again. So I can still learn, guys.
Can I just tell you that one of the emails that I got is still, we need your feedback on this same case from a month ago. They're still making me crazy with this damn thing. All right, that's it. Go on.
So let's get this party started.
Rick, just send him an email and say, Kim did it. And don't worry about it.
You just tell them that the gal that did it has an issue with MS. So sometimes she has, I can't even think of the word tonight because I'm already punchy, guys. Help me out. What do you call it?
Tremors.
No, not tremors, but like, oh, guys, come on, help me out. This is team effort here. Team effort.
Hey, vibrations. I don't know. I don't know. I did. Go on, Tiffany. What does she have?
No, I don't know. I can't think of it. I know the word.
We've been talking about like when you're trying to touch something and you like you don't have complete control. Like issues with fine motor skills. Maybe that's a good way to say it, Rick. Person had fine motor skills, and so they double clicked it, and that was the problem. So
I'm gonna take care of that right now.
And you tell him that you've retrained her, so she knows what to do in the future.
Yeah.
So tonight may be a small group because we're a couple days out from Thanksgiving, the calm before the storm. So how has does everybody know everybody when you do introductions? Tiffany, you've been here. I
was here last week for the first time.
Oh, welcome back. Yeah.
Or not last week, last meeting.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I knew what you meant, Tiffany. I knew what you meant. And then Holly, you've been with us before, right?
Yep, I've been with you a couple of times.
Yeah.
Can you remind me which state you're from?
Massachusetts.
Oh, you were like the group that were from MA last time.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
That state is always the hardest for me to say. Always. I've always had a problem. This Massachusetts is like the worst. So.
Well, they call us massholes, so just call us massholes.
I've never heard of that. It's terrible.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's funny.
Never. I'm from the Midwest, guys. I don't get out. I've been out. I was near Boston 2016 for a wedding, which was very, very nice. Way different than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be like New York-ish, and I was like in the middle of nowhere, like there were bears. Not that far away.
Yep.
So, very surprised. So what brings you all in tonight? Is there anything particular y'all wanted to talk about?
I have MS.
Yeah. Yes. Are you guys aware of our webinar next Monday night? I said it was last Monday. I had my date right, but the day of the thing was wrong. It's actually next Monday after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I tried to log on to it yesterday. It did not work. I was like, oops.
I'm so sorry about that, Tiffany. That's my fault.
I had it in the calendar right. I just logged on the wrong day.
Just put it for the 29th. I'm trying to figure out. I gotta look it up.
Is it for everyone in NCAN or MS?
It is specifically for MS, but obviously it's open to anyone with urology. And she also has expertise on the whole sex aspect. So we're going to be doing a deep dive in that. So if anyone has any
what? I didn't hear you.
She has additional training, so she's all about that too, not just urology.
What? I didn't hear what the what is.
Sex.
Sex. Oh, And maybe the prude in me was like, what?
What is
What?
this? Yeah. So if anyone has any questions that you want me to ask, you can ask them during the Q&A. It's anonymous, or you can give them to me ahead of time. I will not divulge your name or anything because it's kind of a hard topic for some people to talk about. Not hard for me because I'm just that minority of people, but
Which the
yeah.
one, the sex or the urology? Or both?
Everything. I don't have an issue talking about. It's very, very easy for me to talk about.
You know, there was since we're like a little group, whatever. There was something on PBS, I think, on the radio, on like NPR. I don't know, not NPR, but you know, something like on those public stations. And it said, okay, you know, like in another hour, it was just a few days ago, we're going to talk about bodily function. And why is it so hard for us to talk about that? You know, it's just natural and it's normal. And I missed the presentation, but I was thinking that would have been I'm going to see if I can find it because I don't remember who did it or even what day it was. And hi, Tiffany. I'm Karen. I don't think
Hi.
we've met. Have we?
I was here 2 weeks ago. I think you were on the call then.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's the MS. It's so embarrassing, you know?
I get it.
You know, like you're not important, Tiffany. I don't remember.
No, I
you.
know, that's fine.
But you know, I never used to be that way.
Her official title is Sexual Medical Specialist. And I guess not a lot of people, MDs, have that kind of training. So I'm excited. I actually listened to a couple of her talks online. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll do great. We'll do great. But I emailed her. I'm like, what are you talking about? How long? She's like, well, I can talk, you know, however long you want me to about whatever, you know, I can talk about something forever. So I don't know if you guys had anything that you wanted her to cover specifically or not. If you don't want to say it on the chat, just send me a private chat and I will write it down.
But I think I sent something last time.
Yeah, I have your question, which was really specific.
Okay, because I'm not going to remember.
That's why I like to ask questions ahead of time because, like, you'll have a good idea, like, oh, and then you forget about it.
That's about right for me too.
That's why I'm bad about interrupting. Rick put in the chat how to register for the webinar. So if you have not registered yet for the webinar, you can do that. Oh, and I was gonna look at the time, guys. I popped it up on my phone and then I completely forgot. What time is it? It starts 8 p.m. Eastern time, so 8 to 9:30 Eastern time. So that'd be 7 to 8:30 Central time, and anyone behind that has to figure it out. You're gonna have to figure that out, Karen. So 7, 6,
Oh no,
5,
I already have
5
that.
o'clock your time.
Yeah, don't even go there. Because I already did that. So now we know Rick's listening in.
Oh, he has this on in the background.
I know.
He's busy doing other stuff. He's a busy man. We got Christy's coming in. We got Colorado representing. Hi, Christy.
Hey, Cam. Hey, guys.
I don't think you know Tiffany. Let's go ahead and introduce because I don't think you were here last time. So I'll go ahead and start here. Kim, Des Moines, Iowa, relapsing, remitting, diagnosed 2012. Karen, you're the next one on my screen. Go ahead, girl.
How did that happen? I'm trying to do the registration thing.
Oh, well, just tell us.
It doesn't happen right away. It doesn't happen. I'm Karen. I'm in Oakland. Well, I don't have to torture too many people. That I'm in the good weather zone. Oh my God, it's so nice. It's gorgeous. And I have primary progressive MS, although I just read my chart recently and I found out that's not what it's called. It's called non-relapsing progressive multiple sclerosis. So that rings a lot of bells with all the other doctors who look at my chart and they probably go, I don't know what this means.
They probably just didn't want to figure out if it was primary or secondary.
No, they figured it out, but for
They
whatever
couldn't
reason.
find that in the drop-down menu.
No, I don't know, because it would have been from the specialist who, yeah, I mean, she said primary progressive should have its own category. It shouldn't even be lumped together in the others. So maybe that's your option. Do you have relapsing or non-relapsing? As if you don't have relapsing, how would you even know that you don't have non-relapsing if you've never had a relapse? You know, if you don't even know what it means. Anyway, that's me, Karen.
Christy, you're next.
I am Christy from Colorado. I was diagnosed back in 2003. I have relapse remitting, and this is probably the longest relapse I've ever been in. It's been all of 2021 so far. It's been fun. I'm on Ocrevus. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Tiffany?
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm from Attleboro, Mass. I've got the RRMS and I was diagnosed last month. I'm on Copaxone.
Nice. Frank?
I'm Frank and I'm from Kansas, and I have secondary progressive MS, and I was diagnosed 24 years ago.
Last but not least, Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm home now. So I am from Massachusetts, and I've had relapsing remitting MS for 21 years, and I take Rituxan.
How are things been going the last couple of weeks since the last time we've met?
Hey, update. I broke my leg yesterday. Oh no.
Is it the same one?
Yeah.
Girl.
No, I gotta laugh about it. I mean, so I broke my foot, had complications from that. I've had spasms. Yesterday, it decided it wanted to break on me. So it's like, can I get through one ailment before I get another?
How did you
So,
break it?
I was leaving for work and I was coming down the last section of my stairs and my foot slipped and then my leg just bent awkwardly under me and it like went awkward and both Steve and I heard a loud pop and went to the ER and found out I broke the top proximal fibula, so right below my knee. So it was it's fun. You know, everybody says 2020 was horrible with the whole COVID pandemic. Yeah. Well, welcome to my 2021, everyone. It's been fun.
So are your spasms just as bad since you've broken your leg?
Well, I still have the spasms, and now I have the break, and the spasms aren't helping with the break. It makes it hurt worse. So I'm kind of stuck in a hard spot.
Are you still working?
Well, I took yesterday off, and then I haven't been able to get up to my bed, so I had to sleep in my recliner. It's a new recliner. I can't get comfortable because of spasms, so I probably got hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep last night, so I just didn't go in today. I am going to go in tomorrow. So we're going to have to rent a wheelchair. I have my transport chair, but I can't get around by myself, just in the transport chair. And today I went and picked up my AFO, and I was like, oh, I can handle being on my knee scooter. No, it was too painful. But I put on a brave face so that I can just get that taken care of.
Are you able to bump up your appointment that you have end of January?
I don't believe so. I'm hoping to hear back from the Mayo Clinic this week, or I don't know, probably not, because it's a short week with Thanksgiving. So I'll give them a call tomorrow. We have confirmed that they did get all my medical records. Because after trying multiple times, even smaller batches to fax, they kept saying they didn't get them. So we just ended up overnighting them to them. But we did contact them and they confirmed that they got them and they would be giving me a call to schedule an appointment. So hopefully I can hear from them soon so that we can get that scheduled and Steve and I can fly down to Arizona. So I don't know, it's just a waiting game right now.
And then here's my, can you fly if you have a broken leg? I don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what these
Who
things.
would stop you?
I thought there were certain things that you couldn't fly if you had, and I thought a broken, but maybe, yeah.
It's just
maybe
late
thinking
term
something.
pregnancy.
Is it so? Why you got an AFO for something else or for the broken leg?
Well, it's okay. So I have foot drop in my right leg, or my right foot, I should say. So I got an AFO to help my foot drop. And then something happened with my orthotist where he had to cancel because he had a death in the family or something like that. And I was supposed to get it on the 15th. Well, I broke my foot on the 17th. And I am truly convinced that if I had gotten my AFO, that I would not have broken my foot. And then all of this domino effect wouldn't have happened. But, you know, I can't say. I mean, if it was supposed to happen, it was going to happen. But either way, that's just a way to make myself feel better about the situation. So
Tiffany, do you know what an AFO is? I mean, I didn't. Oh.
I muted you, Tiffany, because we were getting sound interference. So just unmute yourself when you want to talk. Sometimes some people are lucky some nights, and for some reason they get interference with sound. So
yeah, I know what an AFO is. I work at a long-term care facility, so we have residents that are like stroke patients that have AFOs.
I don't know what it is.
Well,
orthotic or
ankle foot orthotic. You know, when I got mine, nobody explained anything to me about it. For one, it doesn't fit in your normal shoe. It was like crazy making for me. Well, you should just put it in your shoe. And it's like, but my shoe wasn't meant to hold my foot and this contraption, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. And I wasn't told when I left the facility that you don't just get in your car and start driving with it. I almost got in a car accident because it's unbelievable to me the things you don't get told about.
Well, I got a pretty cool AFO. I'm gonna have Steve come bring it to me so I can show you guys. It's not your typical like goes in like it goes under your foot and then goes in your shoe. It's different. So I'm gonna have him bring it to me so I can show you guys. It's actually pretty cool because I didn't want to deal with one that like went on my foot and then my foot went into the shoe because I don't need to stretch out my shoes. So
Yeah. Well, they didn't even work for me. And then the first time I took a walk with it around the corner, I'm like, it was pulling my sock down.
thank you. So this is the AFO.
interesting.
That's on the outside.
So this goes around my calf and then it's attached to the front of my shoe, and it's kind of, it bends so I can still walk. And then when I go to take a step, this helps keep my foot up. So yeah, so when I was looking at AFOs, I'm like, I don't want one that goes my foot first and then my foot goes into. So I did some research and I found this thing. It's called a TurboMed, and it actually is on the outside of your shoe. It's actually pretty cool.
That
So,
is
TurboMed?
what's that?
TurboMed?
Yes.
Did the orthotist know about it?
Yeah, he actually was wearing one. He has one. He had a spinal injury that caused foot drop for him. And so when I went to schedule my appointment, I got scheduled with him, and I would look down and I go, "You're wearing the TurboMed." He's like, "Yeah, it's the best thing ever." But it's super simple to take off and then put back on if need be. And then these little brackets, he gave me some extra ones so I can attach them to other shoes. So then I can just have the brackets on the other shoes and just swap this piece when I wear other shoes. So.
Have
I
you
don't
been
know.
able to actually use it since you broke your leg, or?
That would be a negative. But I did test it out when I first ordered it. So I know it works. So it's actually a pretty neat little contraption.
I'm
My
excited
mom
to
was
hear
like,
how
"Oh." What's that?
I'm excited to hear what you think about it once you can actually start utilizing it.
Yeah, I think that it will definitely improve my walking once I can start utilizing. So I just feel like I'm not done with my flare up, and that's why I'm having all of these issues, and it's true. They say, a flare up can last a few minutes to a few years. So I'm hoping I'm not on the latter part of that. I'm really hoping I can bounce out of this sooner than later. So fingers crossed.
You have to welcome Tim. You have to show Tim your AFO since he just caught the tail end of that.
That AFO looks to me like it'll give a lot more assistance for foot drop than most AFOs do.
Right. And
just my feeling looking at it.
well, and the orthotist that he has one, his is on his right foot. So my big concern was driving with it on. He's like, no, it's fine. He's like, it doesn't hinder your driving. Where I feel like the hard polyurethane AFO would make it more difficult to drive with that AFO. So I don't know. I'm pretty stoked as to when I can start using it to really give a good, honest review. I've walked in it and I felt quite a huge difference.
I'm impressed. This is the one I got. On the top, it looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't even know. I really didn't even use it. It didn't fit. It didn't fit in my shoe. I just couldn't understand. It makes me crazy. It's bad enough what you have going on with you, but then when you deal with a dysfunctional medical system, that's the
Right.
stuff that keeps me up at night. They're like, well, you just should be able to put it in your shoe. But like, it doesn't even make sense. You should just be able to put it in your shoe if you're always putting your foot in your shoe. And then I said, well, you can go get diabetic shoes, like as if we all know what that means. And it's like, oh, spend another couple of $100 on something. Or well, some people get like 2 pairs of shoes, one bigger, one smaller. It's like, how much, experimentation do I have to do with my wallet? So then this was in this shoe, like just a tennis shoe that I had. And it didn't work. And then I was taking a walk in the beginning of COVID, but I really almost never use it. I was taking a walk at the beginning of COVID, and like all my neighbors would put stuff out on the street. So then I found this shoe, which isn't exactly, but it was like a size not, it was like one size bigger than what I had. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll wear them. I mean, you'd have to like really notice that they're different.
No.
But that's one thing I really like about this, is
You can
that
keep all your shoes. You can wear all your other shoes that you like. And I'm like Imelda Marcos with shoes. And
and
not anymore.
I have some pretty small feet. I've got my mom's feet. Everybody looks at me and they're like, how do you walk on those things? They're so small. And I'm like, I walk like everybody else. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited because I do know like what Karen has. So they have to figure like adjust them to your shoe size, and sometimes they're not adjusted correctly, so I'm hoping with this, since it's on the outside of the shoe.
So what do you do with an AFO that you don't need anymore? I'm not even sure how to recycle it.
Can you donate it?
But like to who?
Well, I know like in my area, there's a place called like Camp Sunnyside, like the durable medical equipment that I've been able to drop off.
Yeah, there is a place that does that, but I thought, well, with the AFO, how would you even?
I have no idea. This is my first one, so.
At that durable medical, I picked up a sock aid a long time ago. Like I really would like to know what kind of things do I need to know going forward, because I keep losing function pretty rapidly. And I got a sock aid, and then today I tried to put on my sock and I couldn't, and I was like, where's that sock aid? So I used it for the first time.
Was it helpful?
Yeah.
Cool.
My husband needs one of those just because he's got gigantic feet and he's not flexible. he has no ailments. He's just not flexible, and he has gigantic feet, so most socks don't fit his feet. So he fights to put them on. I'm like, we need to get you something to get your socks on besides me, because I'm not going to be around forever.
Christy, tell Tim what you did last weekend. He wasn't on the call.
Last weekend or yesterday?
Well, yesterday. Well, recently.
Yesterday.
Not today.
I broke my leg.
What?
Yeah. So I broke 3 metatarsal. I finally got healed from that, but I was having complications from all my spasms.
Mhm.
And yesterday I broke my leg. I know. All I can do at this point is laugh about it.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a comedic silver lining to everything that happens to me. I mean, if I took things so to heart, my life would be a mess. But all I can do is
I think it's the universe saying, Christy, you're pushing yourself too hard.
it's the universe saying, just stop. Don't move. Stay in one spot.
Can you work from home? Is that possible?
Actually, no. So I have to go into work because what I do, it's like customer service and project management. It's an aviation company, so there's a ton of FAA regulations where the paperwork can't leave the facility. So I have to be at work in order to do my job. So yeah, so I texted my boss yesterday morning. I was like, funny story. I'm headed to the ER right now. I fell down the stairs, heard a pop, and we don't know what's going on. He responds back to me, oh, good Lord. He goes, just let me know what's going on.
Yeah.
So then I texted him later and I was like, yeah, I broke my leg. He's like, oh my goodness. So, and then this morning, because of lack of sleep and the pain that I was in, I was like, I text him and I go, I'm not going to be in today. He's like, yeah, I kind of figured.
Mhm.
So, that's one great thing, is that I do have a very understanding company that I work for. And they've been really helpful with all my appointments that I've had to do lately, with all my physical therapies and doctor's appointments, podiatrist appointments. I swear I can't keep track of my appointments lately, just because I have too many. So, and then my mom was asking me, go ahead.
Oh, I was just wondering, how long are you supposed to be in the cast for?
Funny story, I'm not in a cast. They did not cast me. Just told me to stay off of it as much as possible. That's it. So I have a follow-up with an orthopedic surgeon on the 1st, so that we can kind of get a game plan going as to what needs to be done, how long. And because of my spasms, I can't straighten out my leg. So that also poses another issue, to be able to cast me or put me in some kind of brace. So I'm just a hot mess. That's all I know right now. So I just want to drive and I can't. That's about it.
This is your right foot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. It's my driving foot. I'm an excellent left foot driver. But when you have a boot on and you're tucking it, it's in the way.
Mhm.
So, yeah, so I haven't driven really or at all since middle of July. My poor car has been sitting in the garage doing nothing. So hopefully I can get back to normal so I can drive again. Not that I love driving, but I like having that independence and not having to rely on my husband to take me everywhere. So how is everybody else? That's been my last couple of days.
I
Well,
think
you
I'm.
definitely.
Go ahead, Tim.
Oh no, I was just saying you definitely got me beat. I've got nothing on that. Yeah, woof. And I know what you mean about that independence, because that's something that when I was even before I was diagnosed, I was cognizant of that and going, okay, so when do I lose my independence? you know, and when do these things, you know, because I'm thinking logically, yeah, this, you know, this disease is going to progress a certain way, so many months, so many years, and then I can plan out, and I can have a nice 10-year plan. And, you know, just listening to everybody here and with my own experiences, I'm finding out, yeah, no, trash the 10-year plan. That's get the 10-minute plan. And some days that's all you can do. You can get a day plan, fantastic. But yeah, I mean, even at work, they're like, Tim, you never take leave. And I'm like, oh, but I will. I will. And all going to be missing me for sure, for sure. But yeah, Christy, oh my gosh. And you know, kudos to you for making it in tonight with a broken foot, because I tell you, I probably wouldn't. You know, I'd be well, and you know, guys, we are, and we get a cold and we're like on our deathbed and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, wow. Oof.
Yeah. No, Steve wasn't even asking me because he's like, is your meeting tonight or is it next Tuesday? I was like, it's tonight. He goes, well, are you gonna go? And I said, yeah, it's just right down our hallway in our office. I was like, I think I can manage that. So, but thank God for my rollator, because it is a rollator / transport chair. So it has that dual function. So I'm sitting in it right now. I don't know if you can see the handlebar right here, but so Steve just wheeled me in and he's like, have fun. I'm like, thanks. But yeah, so if not, it probably would have taken me longer to get to the meeting tonight. But yeah. But you're brave enough, Tim. You've got 2 twins.
I've got, yeah, I'm a father of twins.
Not 2 twins, you got twins. And
yeah,
that
no,
alone,
don't need any more.
yeah, that alone says enough.
I actually had a couple of shirts come in because I usually have on my twin dad T-shirt, and today has just been a busy day, so I'm still in my work shirt. But I had one come in yesterday that says "I make cute babies," and then the other one said "Father of twins, just like a regular dad, only cooler." So I think I'll wear that for Thanksgiving Day, and you know, for everybody that comes over, they'll see me in that and take pictures of that, and we'll be happy.
Yeah. Oh. All I can say is you deserve an award. Anybody with children deserves awards.
I'm just winging it. I just, you know, I read some books, tried to do another 10-year plan. Nah, it's throw it out the window.
Yeah.
That's the way my MS works. Wing it.
Yeah.
Yep. Got to take it day by day, hour by hour.
Yeah.
When I got the AFO, I was still walking independently. Really, it was 2018. Like I got diagnosed. I was still walking in March pretty independently. And I remember when she looked like a baby. It's like this young girl who was just so childlike. I was like, what do you do here? Because I'm the manager of the clinic. I'm like, you're kidding me. She just, you know, took it out and it's like, the thing is like boinging all over the place. I was so horrified. And so it was like March or 2018. And I remember going, does this mean I won't be able to wear skirts anymore? Like, that is like the furthest thing from my mind, like right now. Like, can I wear skirts? So yeah, all these like little things, Tim, your 10-year plan, your, you know, oh my goodness. Or I think I did wear it somewhere. I was like, I don't want to be able to see it on my foot. And then I went to a party once and I was wearing black leggings and I had it over it because it was too much trouble. Like, as if anybody cares. You know, now I'm out with my walkers all the time, everywhere. Like, in skirts.
If I can't wear skirts and heels, that's it. I'm done. I got good looking legs too, so you know, I just gotta wear skirts and heels. No, my daughter just she has some I don't know what they call it, like not sensory deprivation, but she walks on her toes. She's done it since she was a baby, and we've gotten her braces in the past, and she outgrew them, and she's got a new brace now. So when you were showing the AFO stuff, I was like, oh, yeah, they got Scooby Doo on them now, so she'll wear them because they have Scooby Doo on them. So
They're
Whatever.
cool.
My foster daughter had that, and she had the surgery for it. They just like lengthen a hamstring or something like that.
yeah, we're hoping we don't have to do that, but we will see.
Well, that gives her strong ankles. That's
Well, she's gonna be a hockey player. I've already planned that out for her. I got her 10-year plan already set up. She's gonna be a hockey player.
Speaking
Well,
of that, we watched on Friday, King Richard is the Venus and Serena Williams movie or whatever, and you sound exactly like their dad. He had before they were even born, had their life like mapped out for them.
my son says that's a fantastic movie.
It is. It is. It's like, it's incredible. And Will Smith did an incredible job with that movie. I mean, thankfully we have HBO Max because we got to view it for free. But they're only streaming it for 1 month on HBO Max. So, you know, it was a really, really good movie. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised by that too. I didn't think, just the subject matter, it didn't click for me, you know. And then the way my son talked about it, he's a tremendous father.
Yeah.
Has
So
anyone?
Holly, what's new with you?
Not much, just busy. I've been crazy busy these past few days. So I run a nonprofit for cancer patients. So we're in the process of opening a 6th location. So it's been a little crazy.
All cancer or specific type?
Yep, all cancer. So we do I'm a licensed esthetician, so we do oncology, skincare, massage, and manual lymphatic drainage. So, and we have like a number of different programs that we offer at no cost. And so we have 5 locations right now. We're just in the process of opening a 6th location.
Very
It's called
nice.
Looking and Feeling Fab, if anybody wants to check it out.
How close are these locations to each other?
Well, they're all across Massachusetts.
Okay, because it sounded like,
Yeah.
whoa. You're
Yeah.
West Coast,
So
right?
like one's down the Cape, one's on the North Shore, like one's on the South Shore. So like they're pretty spread out. So
Kim, for those of us out in the Midwest, they're not far apart.
yeah. That's true.
True. Did
Good.
anyone catch the part where I was talking and I just drooled down my face?
So
What's everybody doing for Thanksgiving?
is there, wait, I want to ask you, Holly, is there, because I just feel like there's all this stuff for people with cancer. With MS, good luck. So is there good support for MS in Massachusetts?
I don't really know about that, but it was funny because when I was like looking for support groups, I came across Ancan, and the thing about Ancan is it's for cancer and MS and sarcoid. So I have MS and sarcoid, and then I treat people with cancer. So I was like, this, I had to read it like 3 times because I'm like, this is so bizarre. Like, that it's the same exact thing, but like reverse. So, and like the reason why I started the charity was because when I went on Rituxan, I ended up with wicked bad rashes on my back. And my doctor basically like looked at me like I was crazy and then proceeded to say to me like, oh, you're the esthetician, so you should know what to do. So then I was like kind of horrified. So when I found Ancan, I was like, oh my God, what are the possibilities of like, that's so weird. So, so there's not a lot of stuff for MS, just like through the MS Society and stuff, but I actually have a few friends that have MS. So, but you know, I've done relative. Yeah. But I'm lucky because I've done relatively well. I mean, I've had it for 21 years and I'm still on the move and stuff, and just not that I try to ignore it, but I just try to think positive, and helping people helps me to kind of, you know, put things in perspective.
So I have a little tip that I just found out that might not matter to anybody else with the cognitive, that, you know, because that's another thing. It's like, well, how do I cope with that? Because people don't see it. And I didn't know I was a genius until I lost part of my brain, and nobody notices that I lost part of my brain. But, you know, taking my meds, which is pretty much just supplements and Impura, but I always just to check my own, because I'm a nurse too, just to check my own cognition, I'd go, and it used to be quick. What am I taking? And then I had this opaque pill box, and every time I opened the pill box, I'd be like, it's calcium. It's, you know, like that slow. And I didn't realize how rapid fire your brain works. Well, then I'm just cheap. So I bought this new pill box that's transparent. And I bought it because it was the cheapest one. And it was bigger and it holds everything. And I thought, oh, it's kind of bothering me. But I noticed now, I'm like, oh yeah, calcium, Impura, vitamin D, and vitamin B12. Huh, how about that? So I've kind of figured out that your mind does that all the time. Just the fact that it's on the counter and I see it, that my mind was always looking at things and processing. And then when you can't see what's in there, it's like, well, it's, let's see, what's in there? So I don't know, it might be helpful to somebody else. It just surprised me how I don't forget my medicines where I used to forget the evening dose. But I wish I could find a way to transfer that aha moment to other things. Like, well, I know this might help.
So put everything in see-through stuff.
That's true. Like, then it could be busy and I know I have to reorganize my swim bag because I had like too much stuff in there, and I was like debating, should I have see-through? I might, thank you. Should I put everything in a see-through? Because sometimes I'm like, well, where's my extra?
See, you just made me realize that you see like those see-through pocketbooks and stuff, and you're like, who the heck would buy that? Why would you want everybody to see what you had? But that now there's a reason why.
Well, I mean, before I lost cognition, I would know what was behind the iron curtain, you know, what's behind the opaque.
That might be a good, now you can go and sell all see-through stuff for people who have cognitive issues. I just
Yeah.
made you $1 million.
Well, I left my blinds open. I usually, like in this room, I keep the blinds like partially closed, but I was waiting for a practice. I had it open. And then I was in the bathroom, like partially closed. And I'm up some steps, but then I went out and I was like, oh no, it's a little bit too see-through.
We had to put like a sticky contact paper with the frosty on one of our windows because our dog freaks out when other dogs walk by. So that's a nice way to still get light, but then also get the other flip side is you get more privacy too. So that's nice when you're not quite dressed in the morning, but you want some sun coming in. Open up that window.
The houses on my street are really close together. So, you know, like one of my neighbors said, oh yeah, we've seen her naked. She's seen us naked.
Well, the great thing is that there in my house, at my house, it's 30 feet in between each house. So each house has 15 feet of property before it goes into the other person's property. So it's kind of nice to have that 30 feet because it feels kind of private for the most part, but we have a lot of windows in our house and that kind of concerns me at times. I'm like, okay, who's watching me? And, you know, of course, we have the 19-foot ceilings in our living room and there's windows at the top. And of course, who's going to get up there to put blinds unless you pay somebody to do it? And, you know, when you walk up the stairs, you can see everything out the house. And I'm sure everybody can see you. So it's kind of disconcerting sometimes, but whatever. I live in a quiet neighborhood. I'm not too concerned.
Tiffany, how are you doing now that you've had your diagnosis? Not a super long time, but how is that whole phase coming along for you?
It's going. I'm still trying to get better at like telling people when I'm not okay because so many of my coworkers are like, "Oh, you have a mess, but you're fine." I'm like, "But I'm really not." So I'm trying to get better about that. And then I fell on the stairs like last week. That was fun because I can't feel my feet properly, so I like wasn't all the way on the step, and then I went down. I was like, "Oh my God," freaked me out a little bit. My coworkers are like, "Oh, that's fine." I'm like. So.
Get used to that one. I'm not used to it. I mean, people keep telling me I'm fine. It's like, I can't walk.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you see me stand up, but it's like, it's not the same as like swinging your arms and taking a walk. And they go, but you just seem fine.
Yeah, like I'll take the elevator on a day where like I really am having like a lot of numbness. Like I'll take the elevator because I don't want to fall at work. Definitely not at work. And they're like, "Oh, you should take the stairs. It's healthier." I'm like, should you really be saying that to me with like numb feet? Like, I take the stairs when I'm having good days, but when I'm having a bad day, I take the elevator, and like they give me crap about it. So, like I said, it's just trying to kind of adjust to it.
I've had people like yell at me because I have a handicapped placard and like the heat really, really bothers me. So I use it like in the summertime, and I had a guy like scream at me for parking in the handicapped spot, and I'm like, my best friend was with me, is like 100 pounds soaking wet, and he was in a big truck, and she ran up like on the like step of his truck and was like screaming back at him, and like I was like, oh my God, what is happening right now? But people can be so ignorant, you know.
What kills me is I work in a nursing home, so I work with a bunch of nurses and people that know what this is. Like I'm a nurse, like my coworkers know what this is. And they like I haven't hid anything. They know what I've gone through in the last year leading up to the diagnosis. And they're still like, "Oh, but you're fine." And even when we were looking at the diagnosis, they're like, "Oh no, don't worry about everything. You'll be fine." And I'm like, "Okay, but this is like potentially life altering and you're telling me, oh, everything's gonna be fine." And
Right. I think it's hard too when people can't physically see something wrong
Yeah.
with you. Like if somebody has a cast on their arm, like, oh, you're like, oh, all concerned. But when people can't see, because even to this day, my husband will be like, oh yeah, I forgot that you had, like that you have MS. So, because sometimes, like, I try not to really complain about it, and like, so sometimes he'll be like, oh yeah, I forget. So I think it's hard when people don't. It's frustrating when people don't see anything wrong
Yeah.
with you.
But I mean, I walk with a walker and people, I just,
Really?
I think, what is this? And my walking is so much less, so someone, and then because of pandemics, a lot of people haven't seen me other than they see me in front of a camera. And, but I mean, even with my doctor, I was like, I don't understand what part of I can't walk. I mean, that's pretty life altering. Like, why do I have to make a case about this? I can't walk, Well, because we see you walk in with your walker, so you're walking. It's like, and then maybe, I definitely see when I was walking with the walk around the neighborhood, or I see people with baby carriages. Sometimes kids, like little babies, will be like, because you don't think anything when you see a woman pushing a baby carriage. You don't even think about it, other than how cute is that kid. So I don't know. I'm still like, just don't get it. Like, what do I have to do to convince you that I'm not okay?
I mean, I'm lucky. My family's been super supportive. Like my sisters, my husband, my dad, and like my husband's family and my extended family have all been super supportive. But like I said, I go to work with people that I expect to understand kind of things, and they're just like, "Oh no, you're fine." And I'm just, stop saying that, because I don't think I am. So I'm still kind of like dealing with like what this changes going forward and stuff like that. So I'm still kind of in that stage where I just don't really nervous about what's coming, anytime something happens, it's like, okay, is this an MS issue? Is this just I'm careless? Like, what is it?
It's hard to get used to that, where you're can always be in flux and
Yeah.
you don't know what it's going to be like from day to day or week to week or month to month, and that takes it still takes me to figure it out. And
Yeah. And I had my first flare like a few weeks ago. It was like just before the first meeting I was at, actually. I had my first flare, so they did like the high dose prednisone, and I was like a total nutcase on them when I came off of them. I was fine until I was done with them, and then once I was done, I was like a total nutcase. And they were just like, "But you're all over the place this week." I'm like, "No kidding."
Oh, wait till they put you on Sol-u-Medrol.
Yeah.
I actually did oral prednisone, 1,000 milligrams.
Ouch.
I couldn't get into an infusion clinic to do it IV. So my neurologist actually gave it to me by mail, which was an interesting process. So
Wow.
it was just 3 days, thankfully. But
And then did they wean you down off of it?
nope.
Really?
it was
Yep.
such
Oh,
a short
God.
dose, it's not going to wean you
It was
off.
it was 1,000. It was 1,000 milligrams for 3 days. So it was 20 50 milligram pills all at once for 3
I
days.
was going to ask you how many pills. But
Because prednisone, the highest dose of prednisone in pill form is 50 milligrams.
But I know
Wow.
that with like with asthma, when you have prednisone, if you just do a burst for 3 days, you don't need to wind down. But 1,000 sounds like,
Yeah,
My
that's
asthma
what
was
I was
great.
thinking.
Did you sleep at all, Tiffany?
Actually, I did. I made sure I took it at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I slept okay while I was, and then I took melatonin and Tylenol at night, just to kind of help me go to sleep, and that seemed to work for me.
Good. I'm glad you're able
That
to
was
sleep.
interesting.
That's usually one of my side effects. I'm like,
Yeah.
my wheels are spinning in place. I have all this energy, but not enough to like really be
Yeah.
productive.
Oh my
Just
gosh,
to
it
be
was
annoying.
I'm feeling perky.
my coworker's like, I don't understand. You're not getting anything done this week. I'm like, I'll be fine by Monday.
And me and my husband always joke whenever we are out and we see a lady yelling at a guy. My husband's always like, "Oh, she must be on prednisone."
Well,
Yeah.
in my case, I had my first 5-day stint of the Sol-u-Medrol. I did insomnia shopping. I woke up the next morning, or not, I didn't wake up. My husband woke up the next morning. He's like, what did you order? I said, I don't know, just a whole bunch of stuff. I was just sitting there and cruising on Amazon. I was like, oh, we need this for the house. We need this for the house. And Steve needs this. And the animals need this. You know, it's like almost $300 later. He's like,
Oh my God.
he goes, I'm going to take your phone away from you. You're not going to sleep.
Yeah, I cleaned like the both. We have a chest freezer. I cleaned that out. I cleaned out the fridge. I cleaned out the other freezer. I was like, I have energy. Let's take advantage.
If it happens again, Tiffany, just give me a call. You can come over and clean my house.
No.
My husband's like, no, she only cleans
No,
when she's
no,
on
no, don't
prednisone.
keep her. Yeah.
But yeah, my biggest thing was I did insomnia shopping. And, you know, thankfully it was all on Amazon because, you know, after I actually came back to reality, I was able to return more than half of it. So yeah, he was like, you need to quit. Stop.
Oh my God.
And I was like, sorry. What else am I supposed to do when I'm bored at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
He's like, watch TV. I was like, but that'll wake you up. It's like me cruising on my phone disturbs nobody. He's like, it disturbs our bank account. I'm like, okay, fair enough. So yeah, I'm not allowed to, when I can't sleep, I'm not allowed to shop anymore.
It's probably a healthy decision.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with the Sol-u-Medrol. And then I become a basket case and I cry and I'm super emotional and snappy. And yeah. Steroids are not a fun time.
I just had all this energy, but I couldn't, like at work, I was bouncing from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And my boss looks at me, she's like, you need to sit down for like 5 minutes and just like write everything down you're trying to do because you're not getting anything done.
Well,
I
at least-
enjoy the
least they
steroid
understood
part. I don't enjoy the coming off the steroid part. That
I
part.
was fine. The 3 days I was on the steroids, I was fine. It was coming off of them. I didn't have the mood issues, but like I said, I was just all over the place. And it doesn't help that I already have ADHD. And then you add the steroids on top of it. I was like, great.
I don't think
So I'm
that
getting
worsens
nothing
your
done this week.
symptoms.
And I get
Yeah,
a huge appetite too.
No, because I took them by mouth, it actually upset my stomach quite a bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did it make you hungry or no?
I had really nasty heartburn, and thankfully I work at a nursing home where we have doctors who could prescribe me something for that.
Yeah.
So they gave me, I had to do like a short course of Prednisone just because I was getting wicked heartburn from the steroids in my stomach. So I actually didn't really eat that much.
I always get
I drank a lot.
hungry.
I didn't eat anything.
I remember the heartburn. That was horrible. Like I would take a drink of water and it was like a fire was happening in my chest. And I was like, it's just water.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be healthy here.
And with the Sol-u-Medrol, did you get like a metal taste in your mouth? I hate that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't notice that. The only thing I noticed, because I was pushing my own Sol-u-Medrol. They came and put a IV in my arm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the Sol-u-Medrol was like, it looked like a little football. It was like this big. And then I just connected once a day.
Oh, wow.
And it did its course over an hour. But you have to start by flushing your line with saline. I do not like the taste of saline.
Yeah, it's gross.
So that not everybody tastes saline when it gets flushed in their system, but I do. It's horrible. So you have to flush, administer, flush again, and then I had to push epinephrine to avoid clots, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't.
Pepper.
So that was my daily routine once a day for an hour. It's like saline, administer saline, epinephrine. It's just like, this tastes so bad. And the saline taste would stick in my mouth for half the day. It was horrible. But as far as the steroid taste, I didn't taste that because obviously all I could taste was the saline.
That's good to know. I didn't think of seeing if they could like place a line, and I could have done it at home. Maybe if it happens again, I might look into that.
Yeah. They sent out a home health nurse.
Yeah.
And they put the line in, and they didn't even have to come to remove it. I mean, it's such a small gauge IV. I just pulled it out when it was done, put a Band-Aid over it, and called it a day.
Wow.
So that was kind of nice that I didn't have to go somewhere for infusion. And it was literally once a day for an hour. I did it at work, and it basically self pumps itself. The football thing, it would self pump itself, and then you could tell when it was empty because it was like the bag shrunk, the little football shrunk, and then you just disconnect and saline. So basically all I did was I do it while I was at work. So I do the saline real quick, I attach the Sol-u-Medrol, tuck it in my pocket, and go about my day.
That surprises me that you could do it at work.
I know.
It used to be that it was
particularly in a government facility.
Yeah. But what are they going to do? No, you can't take your medicine. I mean, nobody really knew because I wear hoodies all the time because I'm constantly cold. So nobody knew I even had the IV in. And, so it was just an easy hook up, tuck it in my pocket, go about my business. So that was kind of nice.
Convenient.
Very convenient. So, but everybody was like, "Oh, that's amazing! You don't have to cart around a machine to pump your IV." And I was like, "No, this bag apparently, or this little pouch apparently pumps itself, and it pumps it at a rate that is what it's supposed to be. It's crazy." So.
Has anyone noticed if their MS symptoms have gotten better or worse or stayed the same as the seasons have changed, just gotten cooler?
Mine stayed about the same. Although during the summer, I'm really not out in the heat because I want to avoid the heat intolerance and what it puts me through. So I just stay inside during the summer in AC.
I'm worried about not moving because I was going swimming like at least 3 times a week, and then it got nippy, so I didn't go last week other than once, or I tried to go once and I couldn't find any parking, and I just had another appointment. I was like, all right, wasn't meant to be. There's a lot of that with MS, right? You think you're going to do something, or you think something's supposed to happen, then you go, no, it's not. I'm totally not. I don't push myself. So I went, I went on Saturday, and it just was, and I hadn't gone until the previous Saturday, and I just felt I have to walk about a block from the, I don't know, 500 meters. I asked the lifeguard, tell me, how far do you think that is from the pool to the car? And it's just so much harder for me to push the walker and get there. And now the elevator doesn't work, the handicapped elevator. And every time you go to a pool in Oakland, every time you do anything in Oakland, it's like whatever worked yesterday didn't work today, and whatever works today, it does. And so it did. And I have to go to a different part of the pool, so I had to like take the steps in. Yeah, I mean, they were nice. Go, what can we do to help you? But I usually don't swim in the winter. I was looking at the weather today. I was like, okay, I can go tomorrow, I can go Saturday, and then probably December, January, I won't want to go, and that's kind of worrisome.
What's too cold for you? Because you're in Southern California, so your cold versus my
I'm in
cold is
Northern-
very
I'm in
different.
Northern California. Well, like today, even I went on Saturday and it was nippy for me. It was like 64, and then sometimes it feels like 67. So yeah, that's kind of nippy.
That's
But
like
it's
It just makes me
Saturday.
laugh because this morning I worked out with my personal trainer outside because I thought it was a nice day. It was like low 40s. So I'm like, we're outside. So he's learned to bring his winter coat and his layers, and I'll be peeling off my layers, and I'm pretty much in a t-shirt and a pair of pants when we're done because I'm hot with the heat sensitivity. I just find it so cute because you're like, that's nippy, and I'm like going 40 degrees, dude. We're outside. We're working out outside because I can't work outside in the summer because it is way too, the heat sensitivity will get me, but man, 40 degrees, our butts are out there. So, it's so much fun.
I'm always cold. I've always been cold, but my right side is more paralyzed. So yesterday I went back to my favorite massage person who I go to this place, and you know, she doesn't speak English. I don't speak Chinese, but she knows me already. Like I'm always cold, you know. And so she like she put on like blanket, and then she got another towel to put on top of me, and then my hand is just so cold. And they use it. I went for like foot reflexology, like foot stuff, so I'm clothed. And then she does stuff she does work on my body too. And she brought hot stone for my hand because it's just cold all the time, and it wasn't like cold out.
When I used to go to the massage therapist, they always turn the heat on the table super high. And then when perimenopause came, I'm like, no, I don't need heat anymore. Turn it off.
Well, I didn't go in the private room because the thought of like having to take my clothes off and put them back on, that just seems like too much. And then they have this deal. It's like $40 for foot and body. And then they have this cockamamie thing, and no one can explain to you because they don't speak English, saying, you know, it's I'm like, I mean, but my lady, she knows, because they said, oh, we have a special for $49. It's like 30 and 30 for the body, whatever. And it's like, well, I like what she does for 40. So you know, she already knows, like, I just pay the 40 and she does what she does, her thing on me, and and I give her a big tip. And so yesterday I'm like, I'm you know, just relaxing, and somebody comes in my ear. Lady, you do 30-30 or 40-20? And so then when I was done, she came out with me. She goes, it's just $40. I'm like, uh-huh. But that's just been, I was glad I went yesterday. Before I felt like I needed it. You know, it's just get that circulation going in my foot and just pamper myself.
Has anyone else found that massages are really helpful going to massage therapist?
No. They hurt. To me, they hurt. So I just don't go. Like, Steve's like, but you need a massage. And I'm like, No, I don't. I no.
No,
I'll
if you don't
pass.
want anybody to touch you. I'm surprised how the foot reflexology thing that I'm surprised how much, she'll, and a couple of times ago I went and I thought, she's not really doing anything. It feels like this, but she does. She's like, first time she ever touched me, it was just like, I'm gonna get your kinks out. I'm gonna do it. And she just
The
progressively.
reflexology is awesome for neuropathy. Helps so much.
Ooh, I might need to try that because I've been
Yeah,
having
because
issues with my legs lately where I wouldn't call it painful, but it feels like, I don't know how to
like
describe it.
pins and needles, almost like.
Not pins and needles. It just feels like, I don't want to say electricity or energy, but just these weird, the best way I can describe it is weird sensations. It's not
Yeah.
painful. I wouldn't call it numbness, but it's just weird sensations. But maybe I need to look into that because I
Yeah,
am
because
just,
a lot of people with cancer get neuropathy in their hands and feet, and we do reflexology, and then we also add in sometimes the LED panel, and it like literally regenerates the nerves and helps with like the numbness and stuff. So you should try it. The other thing that I highly recommend for anybody with MS is the manual lymphatic drainage. So we do a lot of that because
From where? Like up above or?
your whole body. And so manual lymphatic drainage actually stay clothed. But they just kind of jumpstart your lymphatic system, which is in the body to rid the body of toxins. So a lot of times when people have serious illness or they're on certain medications or whatever, the lymphatic system can get blocked. And if there's a blockage, the lymphatic system backs up and the toxins stay in the body, and it can make you feel worse. So I actually try my hardest to at least once a month have one of the girls that work with me do the lymphatic drainage because it's just good to kind of get everything flowing.
My doctor asked about this. She's an osteopath and she
Yeah.
does she does osteopathic. I call it woo woo,
Yeah.
From my insurance, that she does, straighten things out. So I mentioned to her about, and she goes, does she do lymphatic drainage? I go, I don't know, but my foot
Yeah.
wasn't blue afterwards. Like I think this massage person I go to, but Kim, another thing, I don't know what it does, but it's like, it sort of feels like something even inside of me, even up to my brain, something
Yeah.
clears. It just like clears some energy.
Because every part of your foot is coordinated to a part of your body. So when they manipulate the foot, especially people who are trained in reflexology, they know the different points control what. So if you have pain like in your arm, they can touch a certain part of your foot that controls like the pain in the arm. And if they manipulate that a certain way, it can actually relieve it. So I don't know. I'm not trained in reflexology, so I don't, but the girls that work with me are, so I just kind of know from like what they do and stuff.
who does the lymphatic drainage? Like who would you, if you wanted to do that, what kind of professional would you research?
Yep, it would be either a physical therapist or a massage therapist. They have to be specifically trained in manual lymphatic drainage, and they're kind of few and far between depending on where you're located. But yeah, so it would be a massage therapist or like a physical therapist can do it as well. So I don't know if they have like a site that you could go on to find like a practitioner, or if you have trouble, let me know and I can ask. We have a girl who's like extra trained in manual lymphatic drainage, so she's like a legit manual lymphatic drainage specialist. So I can ask her if there's like a site or something that you can go on to find people in your location.
Maybe that's what I need to do. So my doctor recently upped my gabapentin intake. And since that has upped, I'm like retaining fluid in my feet.
Yep.
And it actually hurts at times. Like if I go to stretch my foot, it's like, it's hard to explain. And like, it's like edema kind of in a way.
Mm-hmm.
you know, I can press on my foot and my fingerprints or finger indents stay. And, you know, so maybe that's what I need to
Yeah, so
try.
just to kind of give everybody like a little bit of idea. So everybody has a lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is made up of lymph, which is the fluid, and it travels through lymph vessels and goes to the lymph nodes, which is where in the lymph nodes it's emptied into the circulatory system for eventual evacuation from the body. And we have a number of lymph nodes, probably upwards to 600 all throughout our body. And there are main ports in the lymphatic system, like we have them here in the groin area, we have them in the back. And so if your body is off balanced or is particularly filled with toxins, then the lymphatic system can get stuck. Or if one of the lymph nodes has been damaged or affected by medication or whatever, it can get stopped and backed up. So then the toxins really have nowhere to go, and they usually come out through the skin. So people who have really bad skin issues that they don't know what's going on, it can oftentimes be a backup of the lymphatic system. So we, along with treating the skin, we also recommend manual lymphatic drainage, and we find that it gets the system moving. Once the toxins stop moving, a lot of times the skin issues will clear up. So anywhere there's swelling or any type of sensitivity in a certain area, whatever, we always recommend the manual lymphatic drainage because it can be that effective. And so it's just a great way to kind of get things moving again and see if it helps. It can't hurt you in any way. So, it's just, and I've worked with this for 8 years and I never thought to do it. And then one of my doctors had said to me, do you ever think about doing the manual lymphatic drainage? I'm like, well, I don't really think about it, but I'll try it. And so I started going, and like, I'm a diabetic. I find my sugars to be like much more in control, and just overall like not feeling so fatigued, and just because, and you can actually like, I can actually feel it like moving, if it's kind of weird to say that, but you can actually feel things starting to move. And we're actually working with a 5-year-old boy right now that has real bad skin issues, and they've been going to doctors for 5 years and can't figure out why. So we implemented the manual lymphatic drainage, and his skin is clearing for the first time in like 5 years. It's amazing how much it impacts your body.
That's pretty awesome. I've never heard of it before, but
I just
definitely something
Googled
to look into.
I just Googled in Oakland, and then I Googled Des Moines. So apparently it is a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody,
I,
and I think like, I do think that insurance will cover it. Like if you go to like a certified practitioner, like I think a lot of like physical therapists, it might be covered by the insurance.
I'm gonna make a note and ask my doctor.
Yeah. It's kind of like a alternative therapy. So nowadays more of the doctors are becoming more educated and up on it. But in the past people would be like, call you voodoo or crazy or whatever, but it really impacts your health.
Something to definitely look into.
This is an interesting discussion because my chiropractor, I sort of get a big grab here because he passed away 2 years ago from Parkinson's, and he had become a really close friend. But originally I met him as my chiropractor. And when I lived in New York City, and he used to always work on my lymph system, especially in my legs along the side of my quads. And boy, did it hurt. I mean, it hurt to like it was like an ouch hurt, I mean, you really, really felt it. But I agree with you, Holly, that it's really it's a great type of massage to get, but you got to be prepared to grit your teeth when you when you get it, because that crap just builds up in your legs and you don't get rid of it. And then if you can get somebody who knows what they're doing, who's trained, I mean, and it could be if you've got a chiropractor, check with them and see if they do a lymphatic massage, because I think quite a few of them do.
Okay.
That might be a place where you'll find it easily. But it's huge. This is I've been getting through a lot of work here, but sort of listening, and I was thinking about this whole discussion about massage, and I was waiting to see how long it would be before they check in with you, Holly.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's really good. I suffer from neuropathy, especially in the colder weather. And I know that it can be pretty painful. So, I mean, I know how painful it can be. Most of the time, it's in my feet, in my heels more than in my toes, but sometimes in my toes, and it can be pretty miserable. And I get it most at night. A lot of times, it'll wake me up at night, and then I can't get rid of it. So
everybody has to
right.
come to Massachusetts so I can treat you all.
All right. There
Well,
you
I
go.
talked to Rick a long time ago about we should have like an actual get together of all the ANCAN groups, like have an actual like seminar or what do you want to call it? And then we have this breakout where then okay, the MSers
I
are
know.
going over here, and yeah, I mentioned to him a long time ago about that. After
Now let me tell you, it didn't go unheard, because in our last board meeting, I raised it with Bill and Bill Franklin said, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea." He said, "My brother's got a house in Pennsylvania that we could definitely use." So, but the question is,
Pennsylvania's easy. I could bring probably 5 practitioners with me. Would be all set.
Oh, house calls.
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. And
Oh,
we're
cool.
a nonprofit, so it's all free.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You know
Well,
how that is, Rick.
I do. We'll have to have a whip around for you, that's for sure.
But I would love to do that someday when COVID's no longer an issue and we all can get together and meet other people from other groups, and then we can do our own little breakout sessions. And I think it'd be so much fun.
Yeah, that would be great.
I've had fun with a few people I've got to meet from this group in person. It's been fun. It's been a good time.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
So, Rick, where in New York City did you live?
I lived always on the west side.
Okay.
And my chiropractor, Ira, was he was at 79th and Columbus. He was on the corner, southeast corner of 79th and Columbus is where his office was.
My husband grew up at 122nd and Broadway.
Oh, right.
In Manhattan,
Well,
yep.
I grew up in Manhattan. I'm from
Really?
Washington Heights.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my husband grew up there.
Actually, this is a perfect segue, because the guy who was on our Solo Arts Heel lives very close to where your husband grew up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I probably have his address somewhere, but he lives right. Elliot lives right. The guy who was on last month, Elliot Kerman. And I did want to tell you all that we've got another Solo Arts Heel tomorrow night, and I think it'll be really good. We're going to be talking to a lady. She's certainly a very talented performer, that's for sure. And she's going to be singing and playing a guitar and talking about addiction and mental health issues. And so that, but the problem, of course, is it's on late for you people back east. It's on at 10:30.
Can always see it later.
So
I'm a night
for you,
owl.
well,
it is recorded, so you can see it later
Okay.
if you
yes,
don't
it
want
is
to
recorded.
party late at night.
But if you go to our, I'll put the link in the chat window. If you go to our website, Solo Arts Heal website, you can find
Okay.
out about Nair on there right now,
Okay.
which I'm going to hold on a minute and I'll put that link in there.
Should we stop recording?
It's okay. People should know about Solo Arts Heal who listen
That's
to this,
true.
and it's true, and they can go to Solo Arts Heal and see Elizabeth tap dancing, right?
Oh,
We got that recorded
yes.
on there.
Yes. So if anyone, I'm going to put my little 2 cents here. Okay. So Elizabeth is fantastic to watch because she is a real dancer, and you can see when she dances, like you can see her dancing, and next moment then she has a little balance or something. It is so, for me, easy to tell how MX affects her. And I think it's one of the best examples of how MS affects somebody, that you can visually see through her dancing. I just think it's, I mean, she dances like what, couple minutes. She does it a couple times, but I just loved it when she danced. I'm like, oh my God, because one thing she'll have an issue with, and then she'll like spin and do like, you can't tell. It's just so cool to watch. So
Not to mention,
And
she
are they
told.
still doing the art thing? The art?
Well, I'll come back to the art thing in a minute, but I just want to
Okay.
say, not to mention, Elizabeth had a terrific story, right, Kim?
yes. I was so blown away by her dancing though. That's the thing that really hit me. But I also was a dancer too at one point in my life. So, and maybe one day I'll volunteer for the Solo Arts Heal. My dancing will be very different from hers.
Um,
Mine might be more
so-
PG-13, maybe.
Oh, you did burlesque dance. Okay, that
No,
goes with
I do burlesque, but I don't have any issues shaking my hips and things. That's not a problem for me. Yeah. So
so to answer your question, we are continuing our arts, our arts program, our virtual arts program with Holly. We got a grant from Johnson, a small grant from one of the Johnson and Johnson funds, and Holly and Alexa are putting together 4 sessions for 2022, and we will be sending out art supplies to everybody who signs up. So if you sign up, so there'll be a sign up sheet and everything. I don't know. I'm leaving this to Alexa. It was their idea what to do. They put the budget together. I just helped them a little bit with the grant, and I knew where they might be able to find money, and they did find money through Healthy Voices, and we're really thrilled. So there'll be at least 4 sessions next year of the arts thing again. It will be coming to you live.
Awesome.
And in fact, it sort of ties into Solo Arts Heal, because really one of the things that we are doing is more mental health, what we call mental health programming. So we have a group starting on December 1st, which we hope to duplicate. But first of all, it's just going to be for AYA men. So AYA is adults and young adolescents, but that's really 18 to 45 plus or minus. And we're going to run a speaking freely group for any younger men with chronic conditions. And Alexa is working on putting one together for women too. So so we hope we'll have one for women fairly soon, but we've got to pull in the moderators but we recognize that we should have one for women. But you know, some people have turned around and said, you know, the women don't have so much trouble talking to each other about some of these emotional issues. Our Speaking Freely group is a group that is designed to talk about anything except treatment. So we try and talk about the emotional side of the disease, but we can't call it an emotional support group because we wouldn't get any guys in there. So we call it Speaking Freely. And so we're excited about this group starting December 1st, and I think we're going to do more about that. And some of our sponsors are very interested in supporting more mental health programming. Non-branded, totally non-branded, Miss Broder.
Oh no, I know you do that. That's why I come here. I'm waiting for that solicitation for donations from you. Because everybody's doing it already. You got to get it out there.
We do one a year, and we do it in December. So we're working on it now, but we don't solicit on Giving Tuesday or whatever it's called, because the year end is when we do our thing anyway. So, but it will be coming, and it's, you know, I think we've done some really terrific programming this year. And I'm proud of what we've done. I could say it. Can I say it to you guys? I'm proud of what we've done.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. So
in fact, I remember I was going to send something to someone about sending with prostate. And for some reason, I was going to hook them up with you, and I forgot. Was there a special program? So I just thought, well, I'm just going to send it to them on my own. There was something about prostate cancer that. Was there a webinar that came up recently?
Yeah, I mean, 50% of our programming, about 50% of our programming is for prostate. But what I will tell you, because I think it may be something that will interest some of you in this group, hopefully not all of you, but definitely some of you, is that we had a meeting today, and almost certainly we're going to start a chronic pain group probably in January. Chronic pain.
I heard you say petting, and I was like, what?
Chronic pain. And it's not going to be disease specific. So the two moderators that we have right now have fibromyalgia and chronic regional pain syndrome. But obviously chronic pain is an issue around a lot of diseases and around, to some extent, MS. And so everybody who lives with chronic pain is going to be welcome to this group. And so keep your eye out for it. It'll be coming soon. So.
And don't forget the urology webinar is next Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Sign up. I'm going to be the moderator. You get to watch me ask crazy questions, or make me ask, better yet, make me ask the crazy questions. That's what I want.
Yes. Yeah, send in your questions you can send them into if you send them into alexa@ancan.org, they'll get to Kim. And or, you know, even if you send them to me to info@ancan.org, I'll make sure they get to the right place. And please tell any of your MS friends, or if you're on any MS boards, and everybody who lives with MS should be aware of this, because it doesn't get talked about often enough. And it's a real opportunity for all the MSers out there to get some great education in our view. And we have to thank Jen and Dan for this, because it was really Jen who said we need this. And we said, fine, we'll do it. And so, and we're super grateful to Miss Kim for taking on the moderator role in this. Super grateful.
It should be fun. And our next MS group is actually 3 weeks from today. It'll be, can you believe it? December 14th. Does that sound crazy or what?
That's right.
Whoa.
That's right. That's
It-
right. That's
This
right.
year has flown by so quickly. I can't even believe it's already Thanksgiving.
I mean, 2020 was like the year that didn't happen in my mind, but 2021 didn't happen either.
It's gone so quick.
All right, guys. Well,
Tends-
listen, go ahead, Frank.
Tends to happen when you get older. They go by so fast.
Right. That's
I know every
right.
week I fill up that pill box. I go, didn't I do that yesterday?
So I just want to wish everybody a really terrific, happy, peaceful Thanksgiving. I hope you all enjoy it. I hope everybody, I know some of you live alone. You, Karen, are you going somewhere?
I usually don't, but I might. There's actually this really cool neighborhood Thanksgiving at
Oh,
this.
great.
It's at a market, and they have a barbecue place inside, and I always go there for that. And this guy's been doing it for years, and I always think, oh, it's for other people, and I was like, no, maybe I'll go this time, because the food is good, but they want people to come from the community, so I might do that.
Good. Good. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you on Monday night with Miss Kim and Dr. Rubin, Dr. Rachel Rubin.
Yes. It should be, if anything, it should be really interesting, guys. Should be
Did
fun.
you already get good questions? Is that why you're all